it shouldn't take too long.
You can get to bed sooner.
First of all, I'm glad you're here. Anybody have any changes to the agenda? No changes. Galen? So Grace had a client at 5:30, so she didn't think she'd be able to make it. And Sean is representing us at the Senior Awards at Bloomingdale, giving our scholarship partners scholarship. So that's that. Okay, I'm pleased to introduce Bill Sullivan. He's back with something that I think will be popular. People will really like.
The same guy that
That we wanted to tar and feather is coming back with something that people might actually really be excited about.
So we're going to go to the next slide.
You-
This is Hot Springs, which is adjacent to Bloomingdale, but not in Bloomingdale.
Yeah, that's good.
There's the thing. The next slide would be the best. It kind of shows you where it is, but this kind of shows you where the
I think it helped. Maybe
this
hit
shows
these
you
two.
where the
That's really dark.
Oh, never mind then.
This map shows you where the property is. The property's in yellow,
Oh, no.
but then north of the
Reverse?
property is the county park land that they.
That's
It's a
nothing
park
happening with.
It's a vacant park that they let people traverse through their property and through my property to get into this neighborhood. And to go, some people actually go to Camino Elementary that way. So that's where that is. So we are proposing, and this shows it, this is what we call, and it's going to be an emergency access and evacuation right and a pedestrian trail that will tie, Bloomingdale doesn't need it, but the neighborhood to the south, which is Tivolo Hills, and our neighborhood needs the trail. But the trail also would open up the entire area. There's our lots, as you can see, and there's the roads. More importantly is the road network. As you can see, the road network at Heisler and the Tideway and all of that. And you have this circular here, and there's more roads and more trails to go in, more roads for you guys to run on and the runners to run through. And it is going to be a pedestrian, it'll have a pedestrian gate, and then it'll have a 20-foot wide gate for Knox box and emergency access for the emergency services to come through if there, for some reason on Lithia Pinecrest is closed. And the reason that the county needs it, and we're making it our design exception, is because back in 2006, the county sold, I'll go find that, hold on here, I'll
Right
go
there.
back for a second. The county sold Divermoody Road to the adjacent owners, and therefore this Divermoody Road, which would have given a 27-foot private wide road, is now private. It was a public street back then, and they just gave it away for whatever reason back in 2006. The county gave it to the adjacent owners, not thinking that, oh, we need to keep a way for people to get in and out. So it was kind of a dumb idea of the county, but they did, and So this is what we're proposing on either side. One side of the, we got to go back to where it is. One side you'd come in on Moreland Drive, which is our side, and then the back side would go into the Adelaide, or the Bloomingdale side would be on Moreland Drive, through an opening there, and then the back side would be through our property, so it would open up this trail to open up another area in the whole area. Hold on here, let me go back here. So this is what the gate would kind of look like. This is the pedestrian emergency access and the pedestrian use trail. You've got a 20-foot wide gate that would be open only by Knox box. So the county would, emergency services would open it up by Knox box. And then there's a 6-foot wide pedestrian gate which would open up, and people could then be able to, this would be open up during the day. It might have hours, it may not have hours, it depends on what the county wants. So then people would be able to traverse back through there, and they would be able to go through that emergency gate onto that 15-foot wide
Trail.
And as you can see, it would go down Moreland Drive, and then it would tie into my new community, and then my new community would then open it up to Camino Elementary, and then also everything else that's out there. This is not the community I was building here in this neighborhood. This is a different community
Off of Lithia.
off of Lithia, Pinecrest. And so that's kind of what we're doing there.
But it's adjacent, so our neighbors.
It's adjacent to your neighbors, yes. It's adjacent to the people here in Bloomingdale section RR, isn't it?
Yeah, our Unit 1, I believe.
Unit 1.
Which would be,
Unit 2,
Oakcrest.
sorry.
Yes, Oakcrest.
Oakcrest, so Oakcrest, where you can, that corner where you can kind of see the lake, that's where this is.
That's where this is, yes.
Question for you.
Yeah?
What's a Knox box?
A Knox box is an emergency box that the county emergency services has to open up a road, a road or access. So the only time it would be open is when the county fire trucks or the county police open it. Wouldn't be like I'd be able to open it or you'd be able to open it.
Second question, why the gate is 6 foot wide? Wouldn't that allow?
The 6 foot wide gate is for the pedestrian access so that everyone can go to and from the one community to the other and be able to ride their bikes back there. It would actually open up, it would open it up to where people wouldn't have to be, from Bloomingdale, they wouldn't have to be on Lithia Pinecrest Road to go further south. They could go through here. And actually, if you wanted to get to the other elementary school, which is Lithia Springs, you could get that way. Because some people take their kids to Lithia Springs.
6 foot seems wide. That seems like that you can allow 4-wheelers and RVs go there. versus
No,
6
no, it's not for four-wheelers and
No, you
RVs.
say that.
Well, we could put bollards in the center that would prevent that.
Okay.
We might need to do that because we've had a big increase on those motorized go-karts and all the balance might be.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine. We'll put bollards in the middle. We'll add bollards, we'll show
He's
that.
taking notes, okay. It just seemed like 6 foot was awfully wide, that's all.
I
Yeah,
like that though, because when you have a double wide stroller and somebody else is coming beside you, and now I think the standard for sidewalks is 5, right?
right, 5 foot outside, 6 foot for this kind of a trail.
Okay.
So a ballard, a couple ballards.
Yes.
We've had a tremendous, I'm very scared for these kids.
I'm scared for me if I hit one of them.
I know, and not that you'd want to hit them, but you could, they are so hazardous.
And in the dark, oh my gosh, they scare the dickens out of me. Who would be responsible for opening and closing the gate?
That we don't know. I mean, honestly, it could be the HOA would be responsible,
Could it
something.
even
of
be
that
on
nature.
some type of time
It could be
system?
on a timer, I don't know how.
Timer.
It's kind of a, I've never had where I had hours on a, usually it's the park, it's open at sunrise and closes at sunset. You put a sign out that says close at sunset, most people obey that. But not all.
We have had some vagrancy in there.
Right, and this would eliminate the vagrancy because now it's being used,
I know that anytime you have, and being used rather than just sitting there.
sitting there, right. In fact, we've vacated some homeless camps out of here over the years.
Yeah.
So.
Now, it wouldn't be locked though, as far as during the day. I
No.
wouldn't have to have a key, like the one at the end of Colbert. You have to have a key and be part of that neighborhood to get into the,
No, it wouldn't be like that.
okay.
That's not my intention. So,
And any chance we get a water fountain?
Hmm?
I know they never do
No.
bathrooms, no,
no, they don't want a water fountain.
no, they don't, I know. They
Yeah.
never like to add water fountains to bathrooms. I understand the bathrooms.
Do you know that the neighbors could all put a water fountain in?
Yeah, that's true.
They could all pull their money together with their association on that side. And
Yeah.
put the ones that are surrounding that neighborhood association put a fountain
Yeah, that
in.
would be.
And no one would even notice, it just couldn't.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
So that's kind of what we're doing. We're doing it because we see a need. There was flooding on Lithia Pinecrest during Hurricane Milton.
Mhm.
And we heard today from a guy that does some stuff for us, that he's with the sheriff's department, and he said that what it floods.
It floods during like tropical storms.
Tropical storms. So Lithia
Oh, yeah.
Pinecrest
Yeah.
even floods in a tropical
Oh,
storm.
I know.
So this provides the county for another way to get
To the-
emergency vehicles in and out of a lot of areas. And we're making that our design exception instead of a sidewalk, because I think it's a more pressing need.
So it's gonna be really,
This is my personal expression, it's not one of the BMA, but we do all recognize that the root cause of the flooding is because we continue to build development.
Oh, yeah, but I'm way up at the top of the hill, I'm not really contributing.
No,
Mine,
you are contributing because you continue to
Okay.
put concrete on top of grass.
all right.
So I just want to address the root cause. of
But they do
flooding.
make us put in a lot more retention than they did in the previous times. Right, so we try to do it. So that's where we are.
Could that be used for private vehicles for egress if their neighborhood is flooded?
Yes, that would be an evacuation route.
Yeah, that would be for the county to open it up.
The county would open it up, that's their discretion. The last one, can you change the slide for me here for a second, Kevin?
Yeah, got 4 minutes on that.
Okay, hold on here. Change to the other, we'll show you. The last one time, we're gonna show you, put Mike Williams' slideshow up there.
Oh, okay.
Because this will help too.
Yeah, I mean, just having one, I don't know, entrance, egress, you know, you never know if something's gonna get flooded and people are gonna be.
Or
stuck
a
in
tree
it.
falls across it. In my neighborhood, we had trees
Same
down
house.
so
Right.
much.
So do we.
Okay, so this is how the neighborhood got out during the Hurricane Milton. Is they literally went across curbs in Chimino Elementary after 3 days of convincing the school board to open it up. Then they finally were able to get through. Well, this is not a real solution because, you know,
Connect.
Yeah,
they don't connect.
no.
No. You know what, the original design
Connected it?
connected it, but somewhere along the way, it never got built. Because we have the original plans, and it actually shows it was built, it was supposed to go through, but they rounded it off and did that, so. And that's what it looks like close up, and you can see they had to jump a curb, then go across dirt, to go across grass, and then jump another curb to get back down.
And you had no car by the time you were done.
Pardon?
You had no car.
And you had no car by the time you were done.
That's why you should drive a Jeep.
Yeah.
So yeah, so this is to help everyone out, and then, what is this a picture of?
Just the curbing and
Oh,
within
that's the
Chimino.
curbing, that's the curbing that people had to go over.
Yeah.
So that's the curbing that they had to go over, was that picture right there. So that's pretty good curb, like you say, you don't have a car when you're.
Is there any more on this one or no?
Pardon?
I think there's more slides. Yeah,
Yeah, it just shows that
the flood.
Adelaide and Williams Road, they're
Right.
both full of, to go out to, you know, Lithia Pinecrest, they're gonna flood. And to be quite honest with you, even when they widen Lithia Pinecrest, they're not gonna be fixing all the problem there on Adelaide and Williams Road because there's too much water to contain and try to move. I don't know what they're gonna do. It's a bit of a problem.
is that emergency road gonna be wide enough for 2 cars?
No, one way in. They can go, they can leave, but they can't come back.
So if one emergency vehicle is going,
Oh, emergency vehicles, one way.
it's not a two-way, it's not wide enough for 2 vehicles to pass each other, is it?
You could, if you had emergency vehicles coming in and out, there's a 2.5-foot shoulder on each side, stabilized shoulder. They can take, one can go one way, one can go the other with emergency vehicles.
Okay.
But we're not encouraging people to start using it as a road when they're evacuation
I
routes.
saw the 20-foot gate, so I'm thinking maybe the road is gonna be,
No, the road's not
18
20 feet, the road's 15 feet.
okay.
Gate's 20 feet, because the emergency services need it 20 feet,
Okay.
so they can use a stabilized road to go back and forth.
Okay.
What we're trying to do is build an area where the county, you know, it's working, it's a public-private partnership when you think about it, because we're working with the county, you know, separately, because the county hasn't agreed to it yet. We're working with the county to fix a problem out here using private money.
Okay.
Okay,
So that's kind of the goal.
thank you so
Great.
much.
Thank
And you'll
you, guys.
send